Hi, my name's Sean OMeallie. I'm a local sculptor known for colorful wooden objects that I make. People might know that I've had a background in toy inventing. I'm going to talk today a little bit about how the toys have influenced my work. My current work is usually colorful and inventive and humorous and entertaining. I'm taking commonly understood things and recombining them and presenting them in a different way and with some thoughtfulness and humor. I've given the concept some thought about what I'm doing with art, and I guess that also arises from my work in the toy business. As we're getting into art, you'll probably see that I'm going to be playing with some either taboo topics or something dangerous, posing it as for a child. When I was doing the toys, the trajectory of my life was always to be making art. And so the toy thing was, in a sense, a thing to explore, an opportunity that came along that just sounded great and kept me employed for 10 years, using whatever my facilities were, my skills and such, toward a particular objective. But I think what I've always been needing to do is just make art. So while doing the toys, I'd get to New York every year. I'd go to Toy Fair. It was an amazing show put on by the toy companies. But what I was actually more interested in was getting into the museums and art galleries. The influence of toys has been tremendous on how I develop a surface or play with shapes and line and color. I've always done that in my art, but it's certainly been refined since working with toys. I also learned a lot about materials and physics and what I call the semiotics of spatial displacement, which is really just a fancy way for saying how objects communicate to us what they are and how we relate to them. Like, taking ice cream and turning it into something else, it's not a forbidden topic, but it's sort of an untapped way of communicating. That piece is called Stinker Loper's Cedar Raker. It's in the collection at the Sangre de Cristo Art Center, and it's sort of an unflattering representation of a human. And it's got some moving parts. So it's two matchstick legs scorching the earth as it advances loose from any tether, and it's got a shrill whistle for a head. You can grab that thing in front, right where its manliness would be proudly jutting forward, and you can crank that thing, and it squeaks and turns a rake on the backside of it. And I think I'm playing with the idea of humans being rather shrill, led by their animal instincts, and not really caring much about what trails behind them. Now here's something that's just more toyetic. The idea of many, color, variety, and all of these little objects are loose and sit on this colored grid, and you can grab them and rearrange them and consider the relationships of shapes and colors. And took the same idea with a coffee mug full of pencils or pens and turned it into something else. I was thinking about the importance of a stick as either a cane, or in my past it was a yardstick as I was a kid, which became a sword or a spear or something. And so sticks are rather important, and I sort of elaborated on sticks, more than one, a collection of things. And here's an old standby, the idea of a gun being a toy. While I was doing toy storyboards, I drew up a rattle, a teething toy for a child in the style of a handgun. And inside this clear plastic handgun shape, there were little beads that you could rattle around. And I guess those would be the bullets. Now I'm playing with guns for I'm not sure what good, but maybe I'm trying to diffuse the violent nature of the gun and turning it into decoration. These are like accoutrements in the household, just objects of joy or fascination, not necessarily killing machines. Variety, color, line, shape, still using all these things. Many, collectability. Balloon Man running is, I think, to me, speaks about the inflated nature of human pursuit, fleeing something, I don't know. In Cowboy Pajamas, I had this idea quite a long time ago and did some refining to it, and I was approached about doing a large piece for a private concern up in Denver, and just approached, they said, what do you think, propose something for this space, and I looked at the space and I said, wow, you could use something 20 feet tall there. And I said, here's this Cowboy Pajamas guy, he's colorful. You're not quite sure what it is. It's entertaining in a way. And they said, yeah, let's do that. So I made a 27-inch model and found a company that the buyer could afford that would produce this thing, 20 feet tall in bronze. So I went to China, had it enlarged and cast there, and had it brought back here where it was painted right here in Colorado Springs to look like my original wood sculpture. And if you look closely at that image, you can see that there's a little model. The wood model between the legs is the original 27-inch piece, and the final sculpture is just about 20 feet tall.
Thanks, Sean.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.